I've been studying my culture, taking everything I need. I'm coming like a vulture, I'm supposed to be a part of history. I'm understanding, it's starting to make sense to me. I took a minute, had to sit back, relax, and then I recapped. I'm praying to myself, I won't go have another relapse. Moving up the mountain, shit, slowly but surely. Feel like I was trying to rush it. I was moving too early, but it don't need to be forced. I'm about to light the torch.
Welcome y'all to the last sip. Welcome y'all to the last. Let's give another round of applause for the intro song by Untitled, called Untitled. I want to welcome all y'all here on Facebook at Ontario Hill. Blue verified checkmark. Welcome all y'all here at YouTube at Motivational Muscle 74. That's Muscle MUZCLE. I just want to thank y'all, man. Give a round of applause for yourself, beautiful audience that you are. A round of applause. And before we start, you know, we always do, I advocate positive drinking, hydration. So what I'm going to do is say thank you to the agua. And let's get a sip real quick. Refreshing. Not here on the last sip. You know, I never spill the tea, but I do take the last sip. Today's show is very, very important for a couple of peculiar reasons. Number one, I'm going to have a couple of topics that are to heart to me. And I'm kind of stuck on where to start first because the two topics have something that's going to ring a bell with a lot of people. So I think I'm going to start with the autism. The trials of being a parent with a child with autism, if you've ever had to deal with it, is very, very highly emotional and tiring. These kids have what they call meltdowns. A meltdown is when the child could be sitting there just doing any regular activity, watching TV, and start to cry, where something in their memory or something trips in their thought process, and they start to have moments where they get real sad and they start to cry, and it takes a time to calm them down. There are times that they are fussy eaters. You can't get them to eat anything because they are used to patterns and certain behaviors and certain programming. And what I mean is, when you have an autistic child, they're used to familiarity. They want things to be a certain way at all times. The way they go to sleep, the things they listen to, the things they eat. They have little quirks, which are called stimming. Stimming is when they do an activity over and over again to keep them calm. As you can hear when I do my podcast, sometimes you might hear her in the background. That's part of the process, is a lot of yelling and screaming. Nothing bad. She might be in a happy mood, sad mood. She'll do continuous clapping. That is an emotion that she provides us with to know she's happy, sad. No matter what it is, she's going to clap. She's nonverbal, which means she does speak sometime, but can't communicate when she wants to eat, when she has to go to the restroom. And so it is a very trying thing as a parent. And then also when you're the grandparent transcending back into being a parent, you're being taught over and over again on how to proceed through your daily activities with this child. Because if you're a parent, you know that there's no manual for raising children. They don't give you a manual. So imagine doing that and being done with it. And then having to do it all over again, but this time with your hands shackled. This time with no borders. Well, actually with borders. That like bowling. Because you know when you bowl, you do a free bowl, you might get the ball in the gutter, just try again. Well, when you have an autistic child, it's like bowling with the bumpers up. There's certain angles you can't use. There's certain things you can't do. Y'all have no idea how hard it is. Well, some of you might. But to have a child with special needs is already a task. But to have a child that is autistic is very, very, very trying. It comes on a spectrum. You have a higher spectrum of children with autism, and you have some that are regular, have a regular spectrum. What I mean by regular is they have autistic traits, but they're still successful in every day, like talking and walking, feeding, potty training. Then you have the one like my granddaughter. She is on the higher end. She's 3 years old, just turned 3, but she's super tall. Like at 2.5, she measured in at 38 inches, which is over 3 feet tall. Her birth parents over 6 foot tall, 6'5". So, with her being a taller kid, she's super strong. So she just started to not use a bottle, where she weaned herself off of that. Potty training is still an issue because she can't communicate. So we have to sit her there, and she can't communicate when she's going to use it, when she's not going to use it. Feeding is a whole issue. She can do finger foods, but she still can't. She still doesn't have the motor ability to hold the spoon, and the spoon to mouth coordination isn't the best. She's learning. Just sleep patterns, not being able to dress herself. It's hard. Even at her school, like the teachers want to move her because she's so much bigger than either some of the kids that are 5 or 6 years old. They're like, okay, she's 3 times moved to the next class. She doesn't have that mental capability to do so. She's 3 and she's in a bigger body, but she still has the mental capacity of a 1.5 to 2-year-old child. It's not the easiest thing. And so you have to come up with ways on how to help the child grow mentally and physically. They're precarious about kind of toys they play with. They're precarious about noises. You know how hard it is to watch a movie or TV because a certain lights in the room should cover her eyes and cry. A certain noise should cover her ears and scream. It's not the easiest thing. They do a lot of things, like she has this thing where she likes to go around and touch and knock on different objects with her fingers. She has a sensory disability as well, where certain materials and things don't feel right. So y'all, it is trying. And then to be my age and to do this all over again with no handbook, and then it's just me and my wife. We live in our area, in our state. We're the only one of our relatives here. It's just me and her. We have no one else. Me, her, and the baby. And what I'm about to say might irritate some people. I don't care. If you are a mother or father of a disabled child, learn how to be a parent. We have so many children out here that are disabled, that get abused, that get yelled at, spanked, because they're disabled and don't understand. And instead of you taking time to have enough nerve to relax, enough patience, you want to beat the mess out of them. We have some of these children come up missing and dead and abused because we have parents that don't care. Having a disabled child, having a child with learning disabilities, autistic child, Down syndrome child, that's still a blessing. You have been blessed enough to have a child that is unique, that needs more love and attention than you would give anyone else. Take advantage of that blessing. It saddens me that a lot of these parents disappear on these kids. My granddaughter right now, I don't know if her parents are watching my show. I could care less. I have no emotions for them at all, be it bad or good, because, and y'all will learn in a minute about my spiritual. I'm going to get into that today. But I could care less. I'm a loving person with a heart. My granddaughter just celebrated her 3rd birthday on May 11th. Neither one of her parents text, inboxed, or nothing. This little girl. None of them. And all I heard was this. Yeah. Neither one of them called. Christmas, birthday, or nothing. Now, she's not old enough to have the anger or pain because she's busy being loved by me and my wife. But do you know how that feels as a person that has feelings, understands feelings? How I feel for that little girl? Only people that were here for her on her birthday were me and my wife. My baby didn't get no gifts from nobody. no happy birthday calls, none of that. I do want to say first off, thank you though for those, because I wasn't going to post, but I did post because she had a breakthrough on her birthday with her sensory. And I want to thank y'all who actually took time to wish my baby a happy birthday. I got to give y'all love and respect. I can't lie. I salute you. I just say thank you for what you did. But I do notice there's those out there who don't understand my situation, who won't understand my situation, but got to know that it takes a lot of love and compassion to deal with a special needs child, especially when they're autistic. And how dare the people who gave life won't admit that my baby's here. You can't erase her out of history. I am so blessed that God gave me her because it gave me another opportunity to be a better father than I was the first time. I wasn't the world's greatest father, but I wasn't a bad father either. But I've been blessed with this opportunity to do it again. That girl clings on to me and treats me as if I'm buried in I'm the greatest creation since sliced bread. I'm her peanut butter, her jelly. And yes, she calls me daddy. She doesn't know nobody else. Been had her since she was 2.5 months old. We got her, she had RSV and COVID. Could have died. It was times we thought she was going to die. But now she's just a big old mess of love. I wouldn't have it no other way. That is why I advocate so hard for special needs and education. That's why I want to give a run at these people who are going to try to take special needs and education teachers out of the schools, who are looking to take the budget away and give it to something else. If we don't care for these kids, who will? Yeah, I'm on my soapbox. And I told you, I know that there's a lot of times that I turn people off and tune them out. Because I speak about things you don't want to hear, but here on the last sip, as I said, this is my platform. This is what I choose to do. I won't be fake about anything. You can call me controversial, whatever. I call it being real. And you know what happens when you are real? People, we live in the era of the fake. Nobody wants to be real. Nobody wants to speak on subjects that are kind of touchy and clingy. But if we're not asking questions and we're not receiving answers, then what are we doing? It's time for more people to start putting out information. It's time for more people to start taking in input. None of these children slide through the cracks and get pushed through the school system or don't get the right education at all. And then as adults, you mock and make fun of these people. It's time to have awareness of autism, of illness, disabilities, disorders. Nobody's perfect. We all have had something wrong with us. And this subject hits me so hard because I deal with an autistic granddaughter all day long. My baby's not going nowhere. I've had people, what are you doing? I've had people get on me about it. Why not taking a child? Well, you know what? I got married into this family, and this family got married into me. I've been with my wife for years. And when this baby was born underneath my umbrella, which means my marriage, it became my grandchild. And when this baby started to need a shelter and when things went right, we first got her, I was like, make them raise her herself. I don't want her over here. Yeah, I'm going to be honest. I was very skeptical about being able to take care of another child. But as this baby got to growing older and got connected, she needed love. And we're the only ones who could give it to her at that time. And that was the greatest thing could ever to me was taking her in. It's trying. It's a lot of crying, a lot of emotions. And then to know that we are her only saving grace right now, to know that we're the only ones that care about her, to know that we're the only ones that reach out for her, is a blessing in disguise. So I would tell anybody out here dealing with people with disabilities, dealing with children with autism, dealing with children with Down syndrome, dealing with children with learning spectrums, disorders, and anything like that, take the time to love them, because you may be the only love that they have. Well, you guys, I wasn't going to go there first, but it was on me emotionally to get that out. I'm surprised I went through that without crying. Anybody know me know I'm a crybaby. Emotionally, I'm a wreck sometimes. So for the fact I got through that without crying, thinking about my baby, and I say to God, I just want to thank y'all. Everybody that wished her happy birthday on social media. I love you guys and thank you so much. That meant so much to me, and it's going to mean so much to her. You don't understand. Like I said, her birth parents never reached out. My baby's on her own. Holidays and stuff we do on our own. We don't reach out, ask for help. I'm on a limited budget, and I take care of it the best I can. Hey, it is what it is, but I want to say thank you again. Now, we are going to step into the zone. Are you going to take the blue pill or the red one? For so long, y'all, I thought Neo and Morpheus was this big joke. I made fun of it continuously because I never watched The Matrix like that. By the way, fun fact, I'll give you real quick. The Matrix is the sequel to the Terminator. I know it sounds weird, but y'all got to do your history on it. The two series are connected. Okay, now usually I would take phone calls, but today I think I'm going to shut the line down because what I have to say is important. And usually I don't get a lot of phone calls anyway, but the line is 501-259-6788. If you have something important to say that feeds the conversation, I would like to hear from you. But I ask one thing. I need those who are going to conversate with me today to come with facts. You can come with your opinions, but remember, right now for the purpose of what I'm about ready to say, about ready to do, I need those to understand that I'm going to finish out the bottom line on this discussion. I don't need nobody coming trying to overpower the situation, trying to talk what's going on. I need open minds only. No blue pill people, only red. Now I'll get back to what I was saying. Before I go into my comments, I want to first state that these are not the opinion of anyone around me. These are not the opinion of Facebook or YouTube. These are my opinions. Also, if I offend you, guess what? You're watching The Last Sip. As I told you before, I'm on a whole different level with what I'm about to say. Now, some of the people that I have that I'm friends with or am cool with might have an issue with what I'm about to say. Like I said, you can always call my line. Here's the thing about discussions. We're supposed to have healthy conversations. You can never get to a certain point of agreement or disagreement without a discussion. So many people hide in the closet and are so scared to discuss things. And if you can't have it their way, they don't want to listen to what you got to say. I don't do that. I try to let those people who have their words have their words, and I have mine. But for that to work, you have to be open-minded. Like I said, red pill, no blue pill people. With that being said, let's start the conversation. Okay, first off, I'm going to give an applause to myself because I've been reading. Reading is fundamental. Thank you so much. Thank you. Now, speaking of the Matrix, at the time of one of the scenes, Morpheus offered Neo two pills, a red and a blue. The blue pill, you can go about life the way it is, live it as you want to. The red pill, if you take this pill, you'll begin to see life the way it really is. I'm like, okay, whatever. The movie, he takes the pill, you know what happens after that. You guys, I never realized how much in tune the movie was about real life. Remember when I had the podcast up and I told y'all about how all the movies and stuff we're dealing with came from original ideas somewhere else? Well, now I'm starting to believe that even more. Because enabled to have an idea, we are third dimensional creatures. We have control over first and second dimension, meaning like the different aspects of drawings and visual thinking. The fourth dimension is the dimension that is very real and people laugh and mock at. When you're in a dimension prior to a dimension before you, you control that previous dimension. So what I'm getting at is to make these movies, these thought processes had to be placed in your head somewhere. Now the movies, we see a lot of remakes. These remakes are coming. Remake is something that is taken and redone. Hence the word remake. You're making it over again. But the originals, that is what's in question. The originals come from ideas and concepts that were placed in people's thought process, or they have actually seen these events happen. Come on, y'all. Think about it. When you deal with anything on an everyday basis, only way, if you say you're hungry, you'll sit down and watch TV. You'll sit down and watch TV. I'm hungry. Next thing you know, a video pops up on your TV with Burger King on or something like that. Being hungry is not something you just think of. Being hungry comes from your stomach and your body telling you, okay, it's time to eat. Go get something to eat. You're hungry. That is a process that happens through the body and to the brain. And then there's something you feel all the way through. The movie Pinocchio, I'm going to go into some examples that's going to blow your mind. The movie Pinocchio was based upon a puppet maker who made puppets. Well, the true story of Pinocchio was this. Pinocchio's story comes from back in slave times. It was a puppet maker who would use the body of slaves, dead slaves, and use the skin and hair to make the puppets. Well, it was seen one day of a puppet walking around without the puppet master controlling it. Of course, the puppet master came up dead and the puppet disappeared. And to current day, I've never found that puppet. Now, a lot of y'all gonna sit there and say, oh my God, he's just making up story. This is what I want y'all to understand. We live in a time to where there's a lot of fiction. And so I'll go into this. My title of the subject now is called Fact, Fiction, or Fear. The history of history. History tells us of certain events, certain historical moments, dates, times, accurate on everything. But there's things that have been taken out of history as to not conflict the agenda or the mission, the assignment, the purpose. There are things that are not completely told to accuracy, because if they were told to accuracy, it would cause an uproar. It'll give power to those who are powerless. It'll make those who are strong weak. I'm not talking about any historical moment in time period. I'm talking about history itself. I don't know if you guys have heard the story of time travelers. I would tell you some story and facts, but I will leave the names out because I want you to dig this stuff up yourself. There's books on it. There's videos on it. I want you guys to dig all this stuff up. Okay, good. I thank you, Daniel Price. I hear what you're saying. Thank you. Um, Here's I want you guys to understand. All through history, there has been moments in time that has been hidden from us for particular reasons. There's things going on right now in life and in time that the sleight of hand is keeping you from noticing or realizing. You guys watch The Simpsons. How do they know everything? Time travel is real. There's a story of a young man who came back in the year 2000 through 2003. He went to the stock market and made a killing. He made $25 million within a couple of weeks. They raided him, took him to jail, and asked him how did he know about these stocks? Who was the inside tip? He said, I'm from the future. That's how I knew. They said, okay, we're not having that. They locked him up. Went to see him again. They come to him. They said, sir, who was your inside tip? What's going on? He said, I'm from the future. I have a craft. But he would not disclose where the craft was at because he was scared that people would get a hold of the craft, do things to it, and use it. What ended up happening is he tried to make an agreement with them. He said, what I will do is I will give you the cure for AIDS, and I will tell you where Osama bin Laden is hiding. Of course, they thought he was lying. No, you're staying locked up. Your bill said that, I think it was in between $1 million and $10 million. Lo and behold, some guy comes out of nowhere and pays the money. The guy gets out. They go to look for the guy that paid the bail and the guy who they had locked up, and they go to find him and cannot find him. You say, well, that's not peculiar. Yes, it is. Because they went back to look the guy's identity up and his birth date. He didn't exist in the time before they arrested him. See, a lot of these stories are documented and told, but no one believes them. They hide them. An old man comes up missing. Nobody can find him. Been missing for close to, just years. Well, somebody finds an old article from the 50s. I think it was the 30, I want to say, now I'm going to keep it real. I don't exactly remember when it was. So I'm not going to sit here and lie to you about that part. I could have swore they said the 50s is what it was. Is it the 30s? I can't remember exactly. But they look in this article, they find a guy whose license was like a license from today. Come to find out the guy went back in time and died then, and then they recently said they just found the body. 75 years the guy's been missing. Did you guys watch the P. McNeely, Mike Tyson fight in the 90s? Anybody notice that? Right in your face. Okay, thank you. It was the 30s. Okay, thank you. The 30s. Anybody knows them? Thank you, Lisa, for sending that in there. I appreciate that because I sure was wrong on that one. Y'all, the truth is hidden in your face every day. They hide articles in your face because you're not paying attention. You think they're optical illusions when it's not what's really going on. The Peter McNeely versus Mike Tyson fight in the 90s. Mike Tyson beats the mess out of the next hope. Beats him up. Now, back then, we had flip phones. Nokias, maybe flip phones. That was it. None in particular had them little nasty phones. In the middle of the crowd, as Mike Tyson is throwing a punch, if you slow the camera down and look, there's a person recording the fight on a smartphone. A square phone looks like the ones that we have today that I'm using right now to do the podcast. Those weren't invented then. How'd that person get that phone? The Simpsons. Y'all mock them and laugh at them, but keep saying that people are just now realizing that the Simpsons are predicting the future. How's that happen? Anybody ever think they got somebody that's been going back and forth that has seen these events happen? The Simpsons have predicted Kobe's death, Donald Trump being president, the towers. Nobody is realizing what's going on. And we're not even going to go into the story of the Anunnaki. That's deep. Question: how come in the original tombs, caves in Ethiopia, the Bible has over 90 books? Our version of the Bible only has 66 chapters in it. Let's go even deeper. The book of Enoch is considered a heresy. It's considered mockery to God. It was not included in the Bible. A lot of people say because people forgot to put it in there. No, it was not included in the Bible, supposedly because it will scare people into a different process of thinking. It was too harsh. It wasn't based upon the theory of God. So those books were not put in. But Enoch saw stuff and was taken to a place that is real. Another thing, they tell you not to believe in the Anunnaki. Why right now, NASA and other places that document planets and things have a planet X? They have planets labeled. Why? People, why? Listen. We are living in a time where we have got to start opening our mind and stop thinking of a process as A to B. We are three-dimensional ourselves. We live in a three-dimensional time. There is a fourth dimension. We're not the first ones here, the last ones. I'm going to say some other things. Like I said, I'm going to make a couple people mad. If you don't want to listen to me, you can tune out right now. I'm not mocking religion. I'm not mocking what you believe in. None of that. I'm a very spiritual person who loves people and believes in a higher power. But I'm going to ask you a question. In the Bible, where are the dinosaurs? It talks about God creating the world, and then from us being the beings we are all the way through. Not one time does it mention the dinosaurs. Not once. That's no knock on the higher power. Y'all not understanding me. Because y'all sit back and read these books, not the Bible, I'm talking about books in general. And y'all like, oh, those are made up, those are, you laugh and scoff at them. Or you might think they're real. Same thing goes to the Bible. So the process of the world being made, from what we've been told in history, there was other beings here, dinosaurs and stuff, but then in the Bible, none of that stuff is there at all. I'm not getting it. Also, Noah's Ark. Most Bibles take the birds coming off the ark as doves and things like that nature. The first bird that came off the ark supposedly was a raven. Now, ravens are pictated as scavenger type, dark, deathly type birds. A dove is pure and natural. Why would you change that over from one thing to the next? Doesn't make any sense to me. These are so many questions I have to ask. And I was thinking about prayer. Someone spoke to me about prayer. I follow a lot of different people here. I was listening to Billy Carson. Billy Carson said, listen to the way you pray. Change the way you pray. I'm like, what do you mean change the way you pray? Yes. Daniel Price, dude, you are the man. Yes, Daniel Price is just making a statement. The story of the flood was an epic of Gilgamesh. And a lot of y'all got to understand who these people are. A lot of this stuff is being hid and placed away. And a lot of facts have been hid from us. Like I said, this is called fact or fiction or history. The fear. That's basically what I'm calling this subject, because a lot of us have been so open-eyed till our eyes are shut. Like the term woke. This is something that's been irritating me, and I want to speak on this forever. This is something that's been getting me. The term woke. This generation era, people are using the word woke wrong, very wrong. And you should be smacked for that. Everything you're out here doing that's nasty and you standing for it, everything you're doing out here that you consider a certain type of way, that is not woke. The term woke, when you are asleep and wake up, you are resetting and walking into a new day, into a new situation. You're seeing something new for that day. Real woke people understand that their mind was shut down to certain information, and now it has been opened and clicked on to something. Somebody clicked the switch. That is being woke. Having knowledge that you didn't have before. Now you see it a different way. And you're feeding it to people, making them understand, making them smarter, feeding it to people. That's being woke. I'm tired of all these people out here that think know what the term woke is, and they want to get in your timeline when you speak on biblical situations because they know so much more than you do. And they come to find out, they don't know how smart you are, what you've been studying. You might know more than them, and you just being quiet and shutting down. Here's one of the greatest things I want to tell you. A person that's intelligent and smart ain't got to tell you they're intelligent and smart. A person that's woke ain't got to tell you they woke. You'll sense it and see it. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Red Pill. Another thing, Marvel. Do a lot of y'all know about those movies, what they're based after? Professor X and Magneto are based on real life characters. Malcolm X and Martin Luther King. It's hidden in plain sight. Professor X wants to live in peace. Things both races can live peacefully without having a fight. Magneto's like, nope, by any means necessary. We're the superior beings. I go there, they go to this. Stop believing that everything you see in these movies and stuff ain't real. Stop letting it just be entertainment. Sometimes you got to take these lumpy lessons. They're immortals. Anybody understand that's the story of the Anunnaki? The Garden of Eden, the evolution of man, the making of men, the making them smart. The one thing that was said to me that I looked up and thought was the most amazing thing. How do we go from being beings that could barely start a fire to all of a sudden having that much technology and understanding everything about it? Do you know over the years we've got dumber over the years? They were smarter then than we were now. Y'all, they're hiding so much stuff from you. And there's so many things out here that you are allowed to study and dig on your own. You don't have to go to school to get no degree. You ain't got to be no philosopher. Have y'all seen Terrence Howard? Yeah. The Hustler Flow guy. The Empire guy. Well, you know what he's doing? The whole time this man's been a genius. Talking about the fourth dimension. Talking about the algorithm of people's body. Genius the whole time. And now he's finally coming out speaking, giving the knowledge away. Because people that have that knowledge are scared to give it out because of the way they get treated and laughed at in public. The hidden stories of what's going on in Antarctica. The CERN, the portals. It's a lot of stuff going on, y'all, that we're not paying attention to. I'll tell you why. See, in my head, I have a diagram of a body. The body is in 3 different parts. I'm going to tell you how you get total control over a person. Number 1, you got to control their mental. Control their thought process, the psychological, the way they think. Second of all, you get control of their emotional, the way they feel. Third, you get control of their physical. I break it down like this. It's a guy, girl, they meet each other. Guy looks at the female, he talks to her. She's talking back. They're saying things to each other. Inside and mentally and psychologically, now all of a sudden their mental is going. Their mental's going. Now they're thinking about each other, mental going. Guess what happens after that? All of a sudden, she gets a burning feeling, a sensation. He does too. Like, ooh, that's emotional. I think I might want to be with this person. I'm starting to feel their groove. Third thing, all of a sudden, you have the physical. Now that person's into you. Now you're all together. That's how it works. It's 3 aspects. The mental / psychological, then the emotional, then the physical. And able to do that, it's been placed in behaviors. It's been placed in manuals. It's been placed in instructions. You go to your job, they ask you to do a certain thing, do that thing or you'll lose your job. It's a threat. If you don't do your job right, it's a threat. So when you get to the job, mentally, you're like, okay, I gotta do the right thing. Gotta do the right thing. Emotionally, if I do so wrong, I'm gonna get fired. I can't do it. Physically, okay, I'm gonna do the right thing so I don't get fired. That's how this has been working the whole time. So we have people out here scared to step out. People scared to do what they need to do, say what they got to say, because they're so worried about what is going to happen for them in the long run, because they are being controlled by the aspect of physically, emotionally, and mentally. I said that backwards, but you know exactly what I meant. Even your prayers. Have anybody noticed if you pray, you're begging? It's been said you live in an atmosphere to where everything in the atmosphere that can be made to come possible. Remember, you are 3-dimensional. You control the number. You control the first 2 dimensions. Anything that's possible, they say about manifesting. Any religion, any belief talks about manifestation, manifesting things, going through the veil and getting it. How are you going to manifest something if you're begging for it? Oh, I wish you, please provide me. Please. No, I am, I will, I can, I did, I have. Those is how you get the, as they say in Star Wars, the midichlorians. That's how you get them to produce your reality. Stop begging and speaking things as they're not, as if they were. See, people that go to church and believe in the Bible, I will tell you something right now. And I'm not going to sit here and lie and play double sides. Yes, I read verses out of the word. Yes, I believe in spirituality. Yes, I believe that there's a place you go to if you're good and you go to if you're bad. But do I question some things? Yes, because you have to. It even says that. There's times in the word where it says that the disciples and people that follow God asked him questions. They got angry and asked questions and wanted to find out what was what. But you can't expect somebody to believe something that's been written and passed down that has a lot of condescending comments that most men are changing and living. If we're all supposed to love each other and live in a way to be an example of godliness, why are there so many divided churches? Why is there a Catholic church? Why is there a Pentecostal church? Why is there an apostolic church? Why is there a Koji? This what y'all not getting. The stuff that y'all got going on, the wars y'all fight with each other, has been placed in front of your face every day, and you can fix them, but you don't. Because you're busy living in that reality. They have your mental, then they take your emotional, then they take your physical. And to wrap it all up, they tell us all about your spirituality. That is how they get you. I'm not saying don't believe in God. So before y'all get to going, like, he on here cursing God, that's not, I did not one time did I do that. Because everybody has their own belief system, how they believe. And it's supposed to be that if you believe in the higher power, you don't condemn another man for their beliefs. You live your example of your belief in your life and walk in it. Yes, I believe in a higher power. I sure do. Yes, I pray. Yes, I read certain scriptures out of the Bible. But I know the Bible isn't a complete book. There's stuff missing out of it. There's people in Ethiopia right now that's speaking. The Ethiopian guy, he said it. He said, yes, the Bible is an actual document. He said, so never doubt that. He said, but there is a whole lot of it missing. And those who took it interpreted it wrong. There's some stuff you read in the Bible that has been interpreted wrong. And we never question. We never question because we're told not to. I don't know how much I can say this for y'all to understand that people lie to us every day. Every day you deal with people that say things to you and do things differently. I have only, Daniel, man, bro, you are hitting on the head today, Daniel. That is something too. It's like, but we'll mock other countries and other people for the way they do their belief system. I was speaking today to my brother, and I'm gonna tell you what my brother was talking about. I don't know if y'all noticed this. I work at a place where people come in. It might be 10 Latinos in one truck going to the same job, living in the same house. I've seen Indians do that. I've seen Chinese do that. I've seen Indians from job state, overseas do that. I've seen Africans do that. They all live in the same house. They're communatorial to where they work in the same places, share the same money and save money up. And then somebody might move out and they do the same thing until everybody has theirs. Do you know we don't do that in America? The black people here don't do that. No, once we get it, it's about us. We ain't sharing. And this goes back to what I said about sharing posts and stuff. Because this all gonna hit on this all. Whoo! If you feeling some kind of way, please tune out. Because I'm catching fire right now. If you feeling some kind of way, tune out. Because I'm finna pop you. We do this in everyday life. So how we gonna share a house with each other if we can't share a post or somebody speaking something positive? We can't share love and a shout out to somebody trying to do something with their life and change their life. We can't speak nothing positive about people, putting positive atmosphere out here because we so busy doing us and we angry when we think somebody can overcome us. But you got the nerve to want somebody to put you on and share your stuff, but you don't show nobody else no love. Come on now. Yeah, I'm fired up today. I told you it's going to be an important episode for me. Because this is serious. I see it every day on social media. You got people that think they too big for you, even if you family, if you friend, if you co-worker, they too big for you. They can't share none of your stuff. But boy, you better share theirs and get their name out. You better say hey to them and get their name out. You better pray for them and get their name out. You better hype up their kids, get their best happy birthday to their kids, get their happy Mother's Day. It's all this garbage. I am so fed up with it. Yeah, I've taken the red pill and it's opened my eyesight about people and behaviors in general. And we are the only country that is sit back and diss somebody else for doing something for people, but then we won't do it ourselves. We'll scoff and laugh at Mexican people for putting 10 people in a vehicle, but they saving money, they taking care of the people with them. We'll laugh at a Chinese couple for having a house full of people or having a store where they got their family working in it. But you'll have something and know you got people in the same arena that you're in, or people that's trying to make their way up to do something, and you won't even give them love and respect enough to give them a hand up because you busy doing yourself. I'm busy. Ain't it awful funny how people are always busy when it comes time to help you out? They can help out their immediate circle. Here's the thing now, I'm going to tell you something. It's so easy to help people out you love and know. Because you know they're not going nowhere. They're not trying to be bigger than you. They're trying to stay in a circle and pump you up. But can you reach down and help somebody that's not doing something you're doing? Can you reach out and give somebody a hand up that's trying to make a way for them and their family? No, we're too selfish with that. I got relatives right now that do them, that's doing big things. I got friends right now that's doing them, that's doing big things. Do you know I share their stuff and look out for them? And I can't say the same. I got a buddy right now that got his own little stuff going on, barbershop. He got people in the barber game doing their thing. He puts them on, share it. Do they share for him? Nope. I am so tired of hearing people say they're about people and ain't for people. Well, y'all, I think I done sweated enough up in here today. I'm hot, tired about it. I worked out today, and I done got myself worked up. So I know it's about time for me to get off of here. But y'all, I appreciate those who tuned in. Like I said, it ain't the quantity, it's the quality. Y'all, the shows is getting a little more deeper because I'm getting more into situations that a lot of people don't want to speak on. But here at the last sip, I told you, I'm going to always be about trying to get that truth out, because if we don't have the truth, y'all, we ain't got nothing. I remember back in the day, they said only thing a man had was the truth and his word. That's it. And a lot of people ain't on that, ain't on the truth or the word no more. They scared to talk about things. Then everybody here mocking them when they do talk about something that they think is a good thing to talk about, good subject. Well, I'm never going to change, man. The reason I keep pushing on, although I don't have the biggest following, because it only takes one person to see you, one person to take a chance on you, one person to move you and push you, and the blessing's wide open. But I want to give a shout out to my son, Untitled, who is my theme song. I'm going to give a shout out to everybody that give a shout out to Daniel Price, Lisa Hill, KP, my brother Dirty, anybody that tuned in today, left a comment, showed love to the podcast. I want to give a shout out to you. Hey, this is the beginning. We're doing big things. Get a chance, go on my page on Facebook, Ontario Hill, Blue Check Verified. You can subscribe. 99 cents, you subscribe. Hey, I give you special content. You get some special reels, whatever you need, even personal conversations. I'm down for all that, man. You can tell me what type of podcast you want to see. It all works for me. Also, go subscribe at YouTube at Motivational Muscle 74. Hey, y'all, we try to get to 500 at least. Try to get to 500. We stuck at 220, but it is what it is. I'm going to keep putting out content for you, and I'm just praying that you guys will show love and put me where I need to go. With that being said, I want to thank all of y'all for tuning in today and showing love. And remember, here, I don't spill the tea, but I will take the last sip.
I'm praying to myself I won't go have another relapse. Moving up the mountain shit, slowly but surely. Feel like I was trying to rush it. I was moving too early, but it don't need to be forced. I'm about to light the torch, said I'm ready to take my chances, so I'm stepping off the porch. Feel like a rookie in this game. I was drafted in the second round. I'm spurring now, Manu Ginobili style, but I give it all I got until I take my last.